It's Friday night. It's 7 p.m. That means it's time for the Paul and Nicky Show. The greatest show on earth. Yeah!
I am not Nicky New.
And I am not Paul Lyndon-Birtwell.
But this is the Paul and Nicky Show! Welcome back to the Paul and Nicky
Yay.
Show. We have got some amazing stuff coming up this week for you. I hope you enjoyed last week's...
How couldn't you enjoy it?
How could you not enjoy it? Last week's journey into insanity. This week we have coming up Freaky Facts.
Woo!
A new game called Who's Elvis?
Really?
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Wow.
We've also got Dance Fever. We have somebody dancing and singing this week on Dance Fever.
Brilliant.
We also have Holy Ghost gossip coming up. And who will win?
The Pie Face Challenge.
It's gonna be 2-0 to Mr. Paul this week.
Not.
Yes,
No,
yes, I am confident.
We'll let him think that. We'll let him think that. He only just beat me. Only just by a minuscule.
And I wonder, because Nick is doing the game this week, and I wonder whether Nick has been practicing or not. We're gonna have that revelation for you later on. We're gonna reveal that. So. We're going to discover. So, Nicky, we're just going to have a little time of catch-up. What have you been doing this week?
What have I been doing?
Any fun stuff?
Well, general stuff, you know, looking after family, going for walks, things like that, and doing lots of hairdressing, as you know, because I'm a hairdresser as well, so being very booked up with that. Yeah. Watching good films, Ghost in the Darkness, that is an awesome film.
Oh, okay.
Or Ghost and the Darkness, and that's Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas, and it is excellent. So I recommend that. It's quite an old one. I think it's like 1996, but they're the best films.
The old ones are
they're
really
always
good.
The best.
Yeah.
So I recommend that film. Really, really good film.
Well, one film I watched this week that I would recommend. Now, there is some bad language in it, so you know, with films nowadays, it is bad language. But it's a 12. It's rated a 12. It's on Netflix. It's called Eurovision Fire Saga, and it's Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams. It's really, really funny.
He's funny, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, some of his recent films haven't been amazing, but this one, he's back on form.
He's not watching that.
It's such a funny story.
You're back on form, if you're watching.
Yeah, because I'm not really into Eurovision. You into Eurovision?
Not
really. But this film is just a complete play-up, and you know, it's such good comedy.
Good for a laugh.
Yeah, they're basically from Iceland. They've never won, and they want to win, and they go in. It's just everything goes wrong for them, but it's such an amazing story. So I highly recommend that.
Cool.
Right, so that's our catch-up done for today.
Yeah.
Let's move on to some freaky facts.
Woo!
Freaky facts.
Okay, Nicky, have you got a freaky fact for us this week?
Yeah, I really like this one. So, butterflies will drink your blood, sweat and tears.
What? Butterflies?
Butterflies will drink your blood, sweat and tears. If given the chance, even the loveliest butterfly would drink your bodily fluids. Butterflies do something called mud puddling, wherein they hover over pools of liquid, in many cases mud, blood, feces.
Oh.
And other fun stuff to determine if it has the nutrients that they want. Human blood has a ton of valuable nutrients.
Okay.
Don't get too scared though, because butterflies won't bite you like a vampire will. Although there is a species of moth that will, known as the vampire moth or fruit piercing moths. And they're equipped with a feeding tube with tiny projections that can penetrate into the human skin.
Wow, so learn the lesson.
Watch out for the moths.
Watch out for moths. Moths are dangerous. But cute, innocent butterflies hanging over horrible.
It's pretty, you wouldn't imagine it because they're so
waste.
pretty, aren't they? So beautiful, and you sort of think, oh, can't
Totally
imagine
gross.
it hanging over the waist. Yeah.
Here's another freaky fact. Similar to Dance Fever, but it's slightly different. An epidemic of laughing, yes, laughing, that lasted almost a year broke out in Tanzania in 1962. Several thousand people were affected by this across villages, and it forced the school to close down. It wasn't fun though, apparently, because other symptoms included crying, fainting, rashes and pain. So an epidemic of laughing broke out. What do you
right.
think about that?
Well, I think, that's kind of needed, isn't it, to be honest, with some of the sort of doom and gloom things that we get these days. I think
maybe they could blame it on this show, but this show didn't exist back in 1962. So, wow, so there we go. Have you got one more freaky fact for us today?
I've got one more, okay. Well, this isn't so much freaky, but I just thought this is quite amazing, really. Did you know a head of human hair is strong enough to support 12 tons? That's the equivalent of 2 elephants. Your head of human hair...
Mine isn't. Mine falls out in the shower.
Yeah,
so.
probably not yours. Support
This is painted on.
enough to support 12 tons, like 2 elephants. That's amazing to get your head around, isn't it? A single strand can hold 100 grams. Medium-sized tomato, that's like the equivalent to that. I mean, that's just to get your head round.
So is that if you cut it off?
All your hair, the whole lot, all of your hair. There's probably about 100,000 hairs on your head.
It'd probably pull out of your head though if you hung an elephant from your head.
Wow, do you know they do that aerial
that?
circus? They do the acrobatic stuff, and the women hang from their hair sometimes.
Okay.
Their whole body weight hangs from the hair. They're suspended by it. So
pretty amazing.
But of course, human hair is made from mainly made from keratin, the protein, and it's exactly the same as a rhino horn. You think of how strong a rhinoceros horn is. That's exactly what mainly that is made from. Wow. So it just proves a point. But I just thought that was amazing. You can't believe that. 12 tons, your head of hair. Well.
So basically, if I put enough hair gel in and hairspray and I twisted it into a horn, I would have a lethal weapon.
Extremely strong. Yeah.
So you could commit murder with your hair and then wash it all out later, and the detectives would never find the killer. Interesting fact to know. Freaky facts. Okay, I got one more. Did you know that in 2008, talking about hair, because you're a hairdresser as well, of course. 2008, scientists discovered a brand new species of bacteria that lives in hairspray.
Species of bacteria?
Yes, when you're spraying your hair in the morning, you're covering it with a brand new bacteria. Go on, then what? That's the fact. That's the fact. That's it.
Well, that's the fact, right? That's
the fact is so astonishing, it has to end right there.
I was like, okay, what's the rest of it?
I was building to an amazing story. Okay, so we're going to go over now to a brand new game called Who's Elvis?
Who's Elvis?
Oh, right. I can't do what you do.
Have one more go. Okay, so in this game, what I'm going to do, I've got 3 celebrities that are going to come up on the screen. And, celebrities in Hollywood, Nicky, they can't just go out and go shopping like the rest of us because they're constantly hounded by the paparazzi, having to sign autographs with people. So when they leave their house, there's been a spate now of Hollywood celebrities. And they're dressing up as Elvis Presley, okay, as they go out to do their local shopping at Morrison's or Asda. And so I've got 3 celebrities dressed up as Waitrose as Elvis Presley, and Nicky has to guess who these 3 celebrities are. Now, some of them are easier than others.
Okay.
And Nicky can ask questions. She can ask up to 3 questions per celebrity if she wants to, if she needs to. And then by the end, she has to guess who the 3 celebrities are. So let's begin with the first one.
Oh, cool.
Okay, let's have a look. Let's bring that up for you. Okay.
Oh, this. Sandler.
Wow.
I just know that face.
She got the first one straight away. Okay, so you
yeah.
got the Sandler. So the first one is Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Okay, here comes the second celebrity.
Oh, Jennifer Aniston.
You got Jennifer Aniston. I'm going to make these more difficult next time. Okay, so 2 for 2 at the moment. You're doing very, very well. Let's see if you can get the third one. Third celebrity. Who's Elvis?
Steven Seagal.
You got Steven Seagal. Well done. I mean, I know you're a fan of Steven Seagal. I went for an older version of Steven Seagal, but
later stuff I love, not so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
But yeah, cool.
I know he recently came out and he says that he wants to be, I think, remembered for a philanthropist or someone who does a lot of good work for charity. He doesn't want to be remembered as a sex symbol, folks. Okay, so just remember that when Steven Seagal passes, he does not want to be remembered as a sex symbol. That's his own words. So.
Really?
So Nicky, you have to take down all of your posters. He literally said that, yeah. I want to be remembered as something else apart from a sex symbol. So yeah, Nicky's
Bit
got
of an
to
ego going on there.
take down all your posters from your bedroom wall.
No, I don't.
And
I've got a nice Bruce Lee one though. That you
cool.
got me.
Did I get you? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, Bruce Lee's the man. Bruce Lee's super cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
I remember the one. It says, can't remember what it says now. It says,
Knowing it's not enough,
knowing it's not
we
enough,
must apply.
we must apply.
Yeah. Willing is not enough, we must do.
Well, there you go. A quote from Bruce Lee on the Paul and Nicky
Yeah.
show. Does it get
No.
any better
No.
than that, really?
No.
Let's move on to Liar Liar, Pants on Fire.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
And this week, Nicky is going to share with me 2 stories. One of them is true, one of them is false, and I'm allowed to ask 3 questions about each story to discover if Nicky... Yeah, which one is the truth,
struggle
which
with
one is
it.
false. Okay, so I'm usually pretty good at reading Nicky, so here we
This is
go.
the problem. I know that you're very good, so this is why I'm going to read some of it from here, because you can't read me so well then. So obviously, as you know, I'm an animal lover. I absolutely love my animals, okay? And mainly more sort of mammals, like fluffy, furry ones, more so than things like reptiles and stuff like that. But as a child, my mum and dad, we also kept reptiles and a tarantula growing up. I didn't particularly handle them that much, but anyway, so yeah. So we had this, one day we had this, our pet snake was called Jake.
Jake the Snake.
Exactly. Isn't that amazing?
Wrestler.
Right, straight away,
Yeah.
because that's exactly, me and my brother used to watch WWF wrestling. We loved all of that. We'd even try all the moves on each other and all that stuff, playing around as you do with your kids.
Is that why you walk wonky now?
Yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah, well, thanks for that. Yeah. So anyway, so of course, hence Jake the Snake, that's where that came from, because he was pretty cool out of that, so we thought, brilliant. So anyway, one day we went out, and so he had his own little tank and everything, and of course, like, we'd get him out accordingly as you do, and handle him and everything else, and one of the things he loved doing was wrapping round my dad's wrist.
Okay.
So when he read his books, the snake, which was he happened to be a royal python, he'd wrap round my dad's wrist. And at the time now, if you know anything much about snakes, they can grow up to about 5 foot long on average generally. These royal pythons, this one was about 2 foot long, something like that. Anyway, so the one day we went out and we came back from shopping, and when we came back home, my dad, as he would always do, checked the animals as soon as we get home, because we're real big animal lovers, and so we'll make sure, go and check the guinea pigs, go and check the fish, go and check the bird, go and check this, check the dogs for all the cats and everything else. So he went to check on Jake to see if he's all right. And as he looked in the tank, as he normally would, he sort of thought, because I think it was Jake's feeding time at this particular time. And he looked around and he thought, that's funny. Where is he then? Because of course he's 2 foot long, so he's pretty big. You can generally see him, even though it's quite a big tank and there's lots of hiding spaces and things. So he couldn't see him. Anyway, I happened to be sat at the time, came home, my mum was probably making some tea and coffees and things, sat in front of the telly watching some programmes and whatever, and my dad turns around and says, oh, where's Jake gone? Where's the snake gone? He's disappeared. He's not in the tank, sure. He's not in the tank. He's not in the tank. So of course he's like, oh, because instantly, because like I say, we love our animals so much, we want to know where they are all the time, and my dad is like that with the animals. Oh, where are they? Where's so-and-so? I want to know where he is. So of course we were sort of like, oh, where's the snake gone then? Where's the snake gone? Now, I was still sort of sat, you know, you're a kid, I was like 13, 14 at the time, watching the telly. Oh, all right, I took notice, but I thought, oh, I'll find him in a minute or whatever. And then as Dad's sort of looking around and everything else, the next thing I know, I sort of feel like this movement by my back. So as you do, you sort of jump, leapt forward a little bit, and I thought, okay. Anyway, I happened to look also under the sofa, thinking perhaps Jake's got under the sofa or something like that. Anyway, as I leapt forward at the same time, you could just see the tail end of the snake had got in the sofa behind us, because they're quite big, like leather, thick sofas, and there's you can get your hand in there quite easily, like quite a bit of gap in between the sofa. Jake the snake had got into a little crevice in the sofa, and that's where I felt him brush on the side of my back. And it was like, oh, of course, obviously it makes you sort of a bit jump forward a little bit. And so, of course, that's where he was. So the whole time, my dad's frantically looking around for Jake the snake.
You've
and
been sat on him?
I'm sat there, yeah, I'm sat on him watching the telly or whatever. And oh, there he is. And he sat right next to me the whole time.
Okay.
So there
story
you go.
number
So
two, then let's have a look.
that's
Let's see if we can.
Right.
Yeah, that
So
sounds pretty genuine.
number two.
Okay.
Okay, so as you know, I'm a hairdresser, as we've said before. I worked in a few salons in town. I worked at this one salon in town. I worked there for quite a few years. Generally, as like most salons, most businesses are busy. If it's a good business, of course, most of the time. But you get your quiet periods as well, like anywhere. And so at this particular salon that I worked at, we'd sometimes have a quiet period on like a Friday late afternoon, and at that particular time it was only me and this other girl in there. So I was like the stylist, and we had a trainee in at the same time because it wasn't that busy. We just need the two of us in. And so obviously, you know, if you're not that busy, you sort of think, well, what else can we do? And in salons, generally speaking, if you're quiet, you have to clean a bit and do things like that. I mean, you want to anyway, because you're bored, you want something to do. And so that's what we would do. But then if you have like maybe an extra hour on your hands and you've done everything, you kind of think, well, what else can we do? We've had a little chat, etc., etc. So I think it was my friend at the time that actually suggested, well, because this was quite a busy-ish road, we'd get quite a few cars and things going past. So then, well, why don't we try and play statues in the window? And I said, oh, right, what do you mean, like, sort of, she said, well, let's just go into the window and just pull different poses and just for a laugh. And I was like, oh, right, okay. All right, then. So then we would just go into the window and we sort of think, right, okay, what kind of funny pose can I do this week to sort of get people looking? And we just pull these funny poses and just stand there in the window like a statue. Like a Doris in the window, and just sort of see who's going to do anything. And we'd see how long we could kind of get away with that for. And each week we'd sort of laugh about it and see, oh, how many people are going to kind of watch us and sort of take interest. And
okay.
So that was that. And this went on, I don't know, I suppose this went on for about 6-7 weeks, something like that. So yeah.
So you're not sure like the exact time frame this went on for?
Something like that.
Okay, I've got a few questions. Okay, so number one, I know that Nicky used to have a snake. She's mentioned to me before in the past she used to have a snake. And I also know Nicky's dad, Frankie, and he's not the sort of man to let a snake out. I mean, Frankie would have that, he looks after his animals. He would make sure that snake is sealed in. He wouldn't accidentally let a snake out. Okay, so he's a responsible man, he's responsible with snakes. Is Frankie the sort of man to go out and just allow a snake to get out of it? Is it like a glass fish tank type of thing?
Tank,
big glass tank with a roof on it.
With a roof.
Would Frankie just? I don't know about that. I don't know.
Thin plastic roof, but
thin plastic roof. Okay, so and Jake the snake's 2 feet long. Mm-hmm. Okay. The other one is the hairdresser. You said it's about 6 to 7 weeks. You're standing in a shop window doing some poses, right? Okay, I've never heard that story before. Would you be the sort of person to stand in a shop window doing poses? Yes, you would. Yes, you would. But there was a hesitancy in when you were sharing that story, like you were making it up. So I'm going to go with the fact that on this occasion, Frankie had an uncharacteristic slip of memory. Maybe he didn't put the lid on, or maybe your mum Shirls, she fed him and didn't put the lid down or something like that. So I'm going to say the snake story is true and you're lying about modelling in a shop window.
Okay. So we've got to do the thumb. We've got to do
the thumb
okay.
of triumph. Okay.
So here we go.
Here we
Which
go.
way do you think it's going to go?
Oh! Was I wrong? No!
Yes!
No!
Yes, I'm so glad I got that from there.
So I was right about Frankie. You would never let a snake out. I kind
you
of.
were right. I actually thought for a minute.
I should have gone with that. Gut instinct. But I thought, would Nicky do that for 6 or 7 weeks in the shop window? No.
I'm so glad that I got
well, that's one for one at the moment.
Yeah, that is one for one.
Brilliant. Okay, well done. Okay. So next week we're going to have another Liar Liar Pants on Fire. I'm going to bring 2 stories. One will be true, one will be false. Let's see if you can guess which of the 2 stories. So both me and Nicky, we failed.
He's hating it. He's absolutely hating it now.
Oh.
You can't stand losing.
I'm usually pretty good at kind of judging Nicky's body language and I can tell if she's lying or not, but why? Okay. Okay, now we're going to go over to Dance Fever.
It's time to get those dancing shoes on because I've got some dance fever.
Yes, somebody has sent in a video clip of himself this week, and it's not just anyone. This is Jay Wynn, the singing robot from Britain's Got Talent. So over to Jay.
Wow.
Commence music sequence. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Reach rhythm back, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling
We love the singing robot, and we hope to have much more of the singing robot
so
and even
talented, Mr. J.
the dancing robot. It's okay, no, the dancing robot in future episodes. So please be sure to send more clips in. And once again, if you have dance fever, if you have some serious moves, then please do send it into our show. Also, if you want to sing us a song, a 20-second clip of you singing a song, bring it in. Or even if you have a funny joke to tell.
A funny video in general.
Funny story. But keep it to kind of 20, 30 seconds so we can show it on the show. And send it to the Paul and Nicky Show at gmail.com. That'd be absolutely awesome.
Brilliant.
Now we're going to move over to Holy Ghost Gossip.
Holy Ghost Gossip.
So this week, Nicky, we're going to be looking at the topic of the Bible. Mm-hmm. Now, what is the Bible, Nicky New?
Well, it's God's inspired word.
Okay, cool.
To us. And he passed it down to us through his prophets, through his disciples, through, of course, Abraham. And obviously it started off with Adam and Eve and then moved down to Abraham and Moses and Noah and so on. And obviously, so it's made up from many different authors. Is it 40, I believe?
Yeah, there's around, a lot of people don't realise that. I think the Bible's one book. Actually, it's 66 books compiled together. So the Bible's actually a library.
Yeah.
It's a library of 66 documents written by, as you said, 40 different authors over a period of 1,500 years, documenting the history of humanity, God's relationship with his creation, and also how God wants to redeem us and bring us back into that relationship with him. So, so would you say the Bible's helped you in your life?
Yeah, the Bible's totally transformed my life, to be honest. I mean, because that's part of the whole thing, is that it's God and his relationship with man. And obviously, as we know from those people that know the Bible, we know that from the beginning, it's been broken through the fall of Adam and the fall of Eve. And so from that, the whole thing in the Bible is God trying to have a relationship with man and man rejecting that relationship. And then, of course, Jesus coming along and rebuilding a new covenant with man. Hence, obviously, as we know, as the gospel message.
Yeah. So when we talk about covenants, we're on about like an agreement between God and man.
That's right. And so, obviously, as we know, that anyone who accepts Jesus Christ and believes and puts their trust in him as their Lord and Saviour and repents of their sin will be saved.
So when we talk about sin, we're on about people breaking God's commandments,
right?
Yeah, like
iniquity, that's
don't
right.
Lie, don't steal, that type of thing.
Exactly,
and we've all broken God's commandments one time or another, haven't we?
Yeah, it's a simple thing of just like you say, like you may have been at school and just I don't know, thought, oh, I quite like that eraser, let's take that home.
I'll nick that.
I'll have that pencil. Or
If you're in the office, I'll take that post-it pad,
But
yep.
we all know, because we have a conscience, which
Yes.
means with knowledge.
With knowledge, yeah.
We have that inbuilt in us from God. We instantly know when we do wrong, don't we?
Oh,
we
absolutely.
instantly know. We're convicted. So, you know, come on, we know that comes from somewhere.
Definitely.
It doesn't just
God
pop
created
into
us.
existence.
And what I love about the Bible as well is it's jam-packed with practical knowledge for everyday living, and it works.
Does.
I mean,
Proverbs
in
is
my
excellent.
in my early 20s, I was really into kind of self-help gurus, people like Tony Robbins and people like that. But when you study all of these self-help teachers that are out there today, and there's loads of them, you go into any bookshop, their books are everywhere. When you start getting into their teaching, do you know what they're quoting from most of the time?
What?
The Bible. They're literally quoting from the book of Proverbs, the Psalms. They're quoting Jesus' teaching. And it's like, why buy all of these other self-help books
Exactly.
when you just go
got it
straight to
all,
the
whole
source, the Holy
package.
Bible,
Yeah, that's right.
and read it for
That's right.
yourself,
Yeah.
and you get this amazing information that really does work. I mean, the Bible has been scrutinized, it's been attacked for more than 2,000 years now, and it's still standing, folks.
Still, yeah.
And so I highly recommend, as you know, I read lots of books, and I encourage you to read the Bible. 66 books contained in one library called the Bible. Awesome book.
Awesome, yeah.
Right, we're now going to go. Yes, Nicky, it's time.
The game. Oh yes, it's my game, isn't it?
The
Yes,
Pie
the Pie
Face Challenge.
Oh boy, it's time for the Pie Face Challenge.
Okay, last week, if
I
you
gotta
saw
win this
last
as
week's
well.
show, Nicky lost last week, and I was rather delighted with that. This week, it's Nicky's turn to bring the challenge.
Yes.
Now, I heard earlier on that when Nicky went to her mum's, she.
I can't believe I told you this.
I know she shouldn't have told me this, right? Because I'm going to broadcast. Because I never practice before we do this. But Nicky went to her mum's and add a little practice.
Well, it wasn't really a little practice. I picked up 2
It's a big
peas.
practice.
I picked up 2 peas.
Okay, so Nicky practiced ahead of time. So just remember that if she wins today,
You didn't practice ahead of time with your games. How do I know you didn't practice?
because I'm pure and honest, and I always tell the truth, I never practice ahead of time.
Don't let me see your eyes. Look into your eyes. Look into my eyes. Look into my eyes. Right, would you like to pick your own straw, right?
I certainly would. I'm going to choose the winning straw, a straw that a cheetah would never pick. Okay,
Right.
these one of these bendy ones? Oh, it's got a little bendy
There
one
you
in
go.
it. So.
Little bit of bend, yeah.
Okay, do you want to explain the game to our viewers
So
today?
what we need to do is we've got 15 dried peas in this bowl, in both of our bowls, and Paul did check because, you know, where's the trust in that? I'd love to know where the trust in that is. How long have we been working together now?
I had trust
How long
until
have
she
you known me
practiced
now?
at home with her mum.
Right, yeah. So I did the peas and I actually counted it out a few times, Mike, by the way, a few times. But yeah, we know where the trust is.
I'm a little bit nervous
So
about this.
I know I am. Actually. It's ridiculous, but so we've got 15 dried peas in each bowl here. Now, and we've got our straws. You say you've got the winning one, but nah, I don't believe it. I've got the winning one. So what we've got to do is we've got to suck these out, pop them on the plate, and whoever does it the quickest and says finished and done is the winner. And
Okay.
vice versa, so like we did last week. So,
Well, I have brought with us this week
oh yes, we've got
the Bell of Destiny. I mentioned this bell last week, and I brought it with us this week. So when the Bell of Destiny rings, that's when the challenge will begin. And the Bell of Destiny has an incredible history to it.
Really?
So, yeah. Apparently it was forged from 12 Viking swords. These were mighty warriors, and they forged it in real hot fire, and the Bell of Destiny was formed as a result of this.
Looks like you've got it off eBay, Paul.
Shut up. Right. So when I ring the Bell of Destiny,
Okay.
those 15 peas are going on this plate. Are we ready?
Hang on then, right. So make sure, should we both get like this then, so that makes it fair?
Okay.
Right, okay.
Cry face challenge! Yes! Second week in a row! Woo! Get that cream over here. Come on, how many do you have left? Oh, you finished!
It's the same as last time. I was literally that.
Oh my
fraction
goodness!
of difference
Oh
in time.
wow!
You literally just did that again.
Wow, that was so close.
Yes, I'm sure you're cheating somehow.
I'm literally not, no. As I said, it's the winning straw.
You hid a pea down there. Seriously.
And the thing is, folks, she practiced this. She
I
practiced
didn't.
this
I
ahead of
literally-
time.
What? I picked up
Shocking.
2 peas.
This is the
2
winning
peas.
straw. The bell of destiny was clearly on my side this
Dan
week.
Crash,
So
you need to get me a better game, please, Dan, because I'm getting a bit fed up now.
can you pass over the cream? Here we go, folks. Second week running. Come on, this is awesome. And next week's my game as well, so I get to choose. Okay. Here we go. Let's shake this up. Let's get this.
I'm expecting a really good game from you, Dan,
get
okay?
good,
So seriously, I obviously need your help on this.
Here we go,
Not good.
folks. Here we go. Do you want to tie your hair back?
Oh no! I can't believe it.
Oh, what's all going on? Look at that pie.
How is this happening again? Please tell me, viewers. Please tell me. How is this happening?
Here we go. Okay, so we're going to count down. Put your hands down. You look like she's so like tense. It's amazing. Okay, so we're going to count down from 10. Okay, and then Nicky's going to get pied again. Jump this way a little bit. Okay, ready? Here we go. So let's count down together. 10, 9, 8. And on that bombshell, God bless you viewers. See you soon. See you in the next Paul and Nicky show where I'm going to win again. Yeah!
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's show. We hope you liked it. Now, what would be really nice is if you would subscribe to our channel and told all your friends about us, as this would advertise our show for free. And it would be really nice if you could do that for me. The Paul and Nicky Show, the greatest show on earth. Woohoo!